There were chaotic scenes in Gaza earlier today as the latest hostage release got underway. Hamas has now freed 8 more hostages, 3 of them Israelis and 5 others from Thailand. Israel, for its part, is now preparing to release another 110 Palestinian prisoners. This is the third exchange since the first phase of a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip took hold earlier this month. The truce, of course, aimed at winding down the deadliest and most destructive war ever fought between Israel and Hamas. Well, France 24's Mark Owen is covering all of this for us now from Tel Aviv. He joins me live from there. Mark, first of all, tell us a bit more about the hostages who were released today.
So it's 3 Israelis, it's 5 Thai nationals. We're finding it very difficult to get details about the Thai nationals, even though there has been a group here in the square kind of lending support to them. However, we can give you more details about the Israeli nationals. Agam Berger, 20 years old. She was one of the IDF, Israeli Defense Force, spotters who were kidnapped from a military base near to the southern border with the Gaza Strip. She was released in Jabalia, in the outskirts of the Gaza city a little earlier. That was an event once again stage managed by Hamas as a kind of show of strength. It took place in front of the Adnan hospital, which has been particularly damaged by the Israeli bombardment. In fact, all around rubble could be seen. So Agam Berger now back in Israeli hands. Meanwhile, the next release was down in Khan Yunis. 2 Israeli hostages, Arvel Yehud, 29 years old. She was kidnapped from a kibbutz. She's been brought up there. Basically, she's one of the civilians who was supposed to be released before, and her non-release was one of the issues that put the whole ceasefire agreement into jeopardy. Israel was saying that Hamas wasn't fulfilling its part of the bargain in not releasing her, but now she is out, along with an 80-year-old man. He's called Gadi Moshe Moses, from the same kibbutz. His partner was tragically killed on the 7th of October 2023 during the Hamas atrocity. But he is now out, getting back to his family, hopefully within the hours to come. But of course, both hostages, all 3 hostages, need to undergo the usual medical and psychological assessment at the hands of the medical authorities here in Israel. He, I can tell you, 80 years old, known for his agricultural knowledge. He's lectured on the subject, and in the kibbutz where he lived, he was known for making things grow, for helping people with their plants, their fruit, basically creating crops for the whole community to try and feed themselves. So someone who has a reputation of being very peaceful, very learned, and now freed by Hamas and back in Israeli hands.
Mark, what kind of reaction has there been now there in Tel Aviv, particularly where you are in a hostage square now as this news has come out?
It's a ritual for the crowds to gather. Everything is beamed on a big screen. We've been watching the scenes unfold from Jabalia and from Khan Yunis in the Gaza Strip, and there's been a whole mixture of people cheering but also people crying. It's been a very difficult time for many people to come to terms with what's going on. And of course, everybody seems to have a story to tell about the hostages, about someone they knew or someone who may have been involved. And of course, the emotions are very, very high here, I can tell you. Just across from where I am standing a few moments ago, Steve Witkoff, Donald Trump's envoy, was scooted across the square with his security detail. We talk about the scenes of chaos in Khan Yunis earlier when 2 hostages were released. There was a similar, smaller scale chaotic scrum as Witkoff was going across the square. And there was a mix of people, to be fair, some shouting, thank you for getting the hostages free, but others shouting, hey, what about the others? What are you doing to help them? So it's very much a mixed bag in terms of how things have been done, how things have been handled, and what people think about it here. But I think overall, it's been a very positive and I hesitate to say cheerful, that's probably the wrong word. I think there's been a sense of relief wafting across the square, and people hopeful that this will continue and more hostages will be freed.